Welcome to today's documentary-style video, where we dive into an intriguing question. Who holds more power, the United States of America or Venezuela? At first glance, the answer may seem obvious, but when we peel back the layers of history, economy, military might, and international influence, the story becomes much more fascinating. So, grab your seat and let's explore the battle of power between America and Venezuela. To understand power today, we must first understand the past. The United States of America, founded in 1776, rose from 13 colonies into one of the most powerful nations in history. Through industrialization, world wars, and global leadership, America became the face of modern superpower. On the other hand, Venezuela, once known as one of the wealthiest countries in Latin America due to its vast oil reserves, had a different story. In the 20th century, Venezuela was seen as a land of opportunity, even richer than many European nations. But political instability, corruption, and economic mismanagement slowly dragged the nation into crisis. The U.S. is a federal democracy with strong institutions, checks and balances, and relatively stable governance. Despite political polarization, it continues to function with global influence. Venezuela, however, has been on a different trajectory. Since the late Hugo Chavez and now under Nicolás Maduro, the nation shifted toward a socialist and authoritarian model. Political opposition is limited, elections are often contested, and institutions lack independence. Political stability directly impacts power. Here, the U.S. clearly holds the upper hand. When we talk about power, economics plays a huge role. United States economy. The U.S. has the largest economy in the world, worth over $27 trillion. It leads in technology, finance, agriculture, and services. Wall Street influences global markets, and the U.S. dollar is the world's reserve currency. Venezuelan economy. Venezuela, sitting on the largest proven oil reserves on Earth, faces one of the worst economic crises of the modern era. Hyperinflation destroyed its currency. Millions of citizens fled the country due to poverty. International sanctions and internal mismanagement crippled growth. In sheer numbers, America's economy dwarfs Venezuela's by thousands of times. Military power is another vital measure. U.S. military. The United States spends nearly $900 billion annually on defense, more than the next 10 countries combined. It has over 800 military bases worldwide, the strongest navy, cutting-edge air force, advanced nuclear arsenal, and unmatched cyber capabilities. Venezuelan military. Venezuela maintains around 120,000 active personnel. While it has Russian-made fighter jets, tanks, and missiles, its capabilities are largely defensive. Shortages of spare parts, limited funding, and lack of modernization weaken its strength. In a direct military comparison, Venezuela cannot compete with America. Interestingly, Venezuela has something America depends on: oil. Venezuela owns the largest oil reserves in the world, over 300 billion barrels. If managed well, this resource alone could make Venezuela one of the richest nations globally. The U.S., while a leading oil producer, still values energy partnerships and has often had complicated relations with Venezuela. However, America's diversification and technology give it more stability than Venezuela's oil-dependent economy. Power isn't only about weapons or money, it's also about influence. The United States holds a permanent seat on the United Nations Security Council, dominates the World Bank, IMF, and NATO, and has cultural influence through Hollywood, technology, and global diplomacy. Venezuela, on the other hand, has limited international influence. It relies mainly on alliances with Russia, China, Iran, and a few Latin American neighbors. Its voice on the global stage is weaker, often overshadowed by its internal crises. Another measure of strength lies in its people. United States, with over 330 million citizens, strong universities, a diverse workforce, and immigrant innovation, thrives on human capital. Venezuela, with around 30 million citizens, many of its brightest minds have left due to the economic crisis. This brain drain has weakened Venezuela's potential. So, could Venezuela ever challenge America's power? In reality, not directly. Militarily, economically, and diplomatically, the U.S. is far ahead. But Venezuela's oil reserves remain a card of influence, especially when global energy shortages arise. When we weigh history, politics, economy, military, and influence, the United States clearly stands as the stronger power compared to Venezuela. Yet, Venezuela's story is not one of weakness alone. It is a story of unrealized potential. With its vast resources, strategic location, and resilient people, Venezuela could one day rise again if its leadership embraces reform and stability. In the grand stage of global power, the United States remains the heavyweight, but Venezuela reminds us that natural wealth does not always guarantee strength. Thank you for watching this documentary. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more deep dives into global history, politics, and power struggles.